Hey guys, thank you for joining us for another Men's Bible Brief. If you can, join us on Wednesday mornings. The information is on the screen. If not, we got you covered on YouTube right here. Well, let's go ahead and join the brief in progress. God bless you.
So our hump day food for thought is when life puts you in tough situations, don't say why me, just say try me. There were several authors, but the author that I like the best that I saw his name the most is none other than The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. Our speaker for today is none other than our very own brother Tyrone Wilson, but it's the junior that's going to be speaking for us this morning. Tyrone.
Hey, brothers. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, I wanted to pose, two thought-provoking questions, for us. One of them was something that I was asked, while I was out and about. And the second one, was, something that, I believe Pastor had talked about, in church as well. So I just wanted to start off with going over, the first question, that I had was, why does God allow evil to exist in the world? And to me, this kind of question challenges the concept of an all-powerful and loving God. And I think that this requires nature of suffering and free will. And when I started looking more into it, the word evil is so broad. I started researching it in the Bible. I was like, man, wow. This is something else, because it's deeply talked about within the Bible. So like I said, this was a question that I was asked before, and at the time, I really couldn't come up with anything immediately, to say to them, like, with some people, they won't, think that you should have an answer immediately for any question they want to just kind of throw out with you because they don't believe in the way that you do, or they don't believe as you do, in God's power, and how He should actually use it. So what I did is I did, find some supporting scriptures afterwards and everything. Some of them that I liked were in Romans, Romans 5, verses 3 through 8, and then also, First John, chapter 5, 18 through 21. I had um, my Bible app up on my phone, uh, to actually read the scriptures, and I didn't think about that I was going to actually remember that I was actually going to be on the Zoom. So I'm gonna try to see if I would actually be able to bring that up here while I have you all on with me. So give me one quick moment, because I wanted to go back to this.
Tyrone, if you want us to read it for you, we can.
Oh, that would be awesome if someone could help me out. Reading first, Romans chapter 5 verses 3 through 8.
Okay, hold on. Okay, Romans 5, 3 through 8. And not only this, but we also exalt in our tribulations, knowing that tribulations brings about perseverance, and perseverance proving character, and proving character hope. And hope does not disappoint, because the love of God has been poured out within our hearts through the Holy Spirit who was given to us. For while we were still helpless, at the right time, Christ died for the ungodly. For one will hardly die for a righteous man, though perhaps for the good man someone would dare even to die. But God demonstrated his love toward us in that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us.
Yes, and with that, I came up, with answer for me. I know everyone else may come up with something different because, as we all read His Word, we all come up with our own, perspective or, or views on, how God, says or means something. Um, but to me, I don't think personally that He allows it to just exist, because He has given us free will. So it would so if we truly wanted to change, it has to start with us. You know, if we want to, you know, take evil out of this world, if people want to, you know, try to say, oh, there's so much evil going around, you know, it has to start with us, because God has already demonstrated already that He is willing to die for us, but are we willing to die for Him in order to change the world? Is what I came up with. So that was my first one. And then my second question was, what does it truly mean to love your neighbor as yourself? And how can we apply that in our daily lives? You know, with this question, I believe it encourages us, you know, again to examine, you know, our personal boundaries and how actively we demonstrate love and compassion towards others, you know, regardless of our differences. And for this one, you know, I did go to Leviticus because I got this one from Leviticus chapter 19, verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, and I know, you know, with this particular question, though, this was, you know, during the laws. I forget which one, but this was, you know, during the law. So, you know, my thinking was, you know, after Christ came, you know, we stopped, you know, being up under the law and was under His love. So, I was thinking, hey, so do these laws still apply? You know, to us? You know, and how can we, you know, still live our life according knowing who God, you know, was, is, and who He will be. So, reading in some of Leviticus, you know, I was thinking, you know, if we no longer live, you know, under the law, how do we still apply some of these commands from God? And you know, of course, you know, do they still apply? So, if you read a little bit more, you know, before verse 18, one that kind of struck me was in the verse 17. So Leviticus 19:17. In the NIV Bible, it says, you know, rebuke your neighbor frankly, so you will not share in their guilt. And I was like, okay, so I kind of understood that one, you know, for me. But I know we have some, you know, some older guys, you know, in the group. So I went to the Thomas Chain Reference Bible. And in verse 17, it says, "Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him." So, and to me, that kind of helped me when I got to verse 18, kind of, you know, come up with a an answer for me. So I took it as, you know, you can love your neighbor as yourself and apply it by not holding your tongue and say what is, you know, what is bothering you in order to get it out. So that way you have a clear heart and a clear conscience towards others. And in return, you will free yourself so that way you're not burdened, you know, with those thoughts and everything, holding things in. So just be honest to yourself so that way, you know, you can also be honest to them and move forward. And that's how we can apply that question into life. And that is all I have for this morning.